One thing that I was asking myself was this whole hearing it on CD. Is that a valid way of reading the Bible, quote unquote? Because it's not really reading it, is it? And well, the first thought that came to me is, hey, look, you do what you've got to do to get this done. But also, the Bible talks about how we need to hear the Word of God. Now, today, that translates into read the Bible. But there's really no reason why we still can't hear the Word of God if somebody is going to read it to us. Remember that in the early days of the church, there were so many people who couldn't read, and even if they could read, it wouldn't really matter because the Bible hadn't been canonized yet. Remember that the Bible is actually 66 separate books which are attached together to create the actual Bible. And that wasn't combined into one book until much later. When they talk about how people need to hear the Word of God, well, when Paul said that in Romans 10, which I'm about to play here in a moment, that was meant quite literally because that's how it was being taught around those times. This is Romans 10:13 through 17, talking about hearing the Word of God.
For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? And how shall they preach, except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace, and bring glad tidings of good things. But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith, Lord, who hath believed our report? So then, faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God.
So, is it legitimate to hear the Word of God in that way, as opposed to reading it? I would say so. If reading the Bible sounds like a good idea to you, then go ahead and read it. If you feel that having the Bible read to you is an option that is more likely to actually result in you getting through the whole thing, then by all means do that. One option would be to go online and you can listen to the Bible being read to you there. The excerpt I just played was played from BibleGateway.com. That's one option for you. I highly recommend them, actually. They're really quite good. It's a good study tool as well. Another option is you could do what I did originally and borrow some kind of tapes or CDs or whatever you can find from a friend who might have some. I'm certain you could probably find some sort of download for some kind of multimedia sort of player device that you might have. And then, of course, there's the option of going to a Christian store. I'm certain that's one of the products they will have, is some sort of way to listen to the Bible. I also noticed that BibleGateway.com has a free download link, so that seems promising as well. Whether you want to read or listen, I'll give you a challenge. Open book, page 1, Genesis 1:1, in the beginning. Go. Every verse, every chapter, every book, cover to cover. Can you do it? If you do it, and you actually pay attention, do you think that will please God? And with that, I hope that these suggestions lead to some additional options that people perhaps didn't think that much about, which results in additional people hearing more of the Word.